Good morning to you, Sam. Na ni kwamba nakujia moja kwa moja kutoka Mombasa County, na hii leo basi tumeweza kuona kwamba pale asubuhi mashirika mbalimbali ya kijamii na familia zile za watoto wao ama watu wao ambao waliweza kupotea bila kujulikana mahali walipo, basi waliweza kuingia katika barabara na kuweza kuandamana kwa amani, wakiweza kushindikiza hususan swala zima lile la watu wao kuweza kupotezwa bila kujulikana mahali walipo. Na tumeweza kuona kwamba mashirika haya yameweza kujiunga na baadhi ya mashirika mbalimbali kutoka pwani ya Kenya, na vile vile pamoja na mbunge wa Mvita pia alikuwa ni miongoni mwa wale watu ambao waliweza kujumuika kuweza kushindikiza masuala haya ya kupotezwa kwa watu ama kwa wapendwa wao. Na moja kwa moja basi tuweze kujiunga tu na mbunge huyu wa Mvita aweze kutulifikia kwamba ina maana gani haswa katika leo kuona kwamba wameweza kukusanyika pamoja na kuweza kushindikiza masuala haya. Pengine kama tunaweza jiunga nawe Bwana Abdul Samad, pengine tuanze tu, hii siku ya leo ina umuhimu gani kwa wahusika?
Kwanza siku ya leo si siku ya kusherehekea, ni siku ya kukumbuka tu na kukumbusha dunia, kwa sababu wale ambao kwamba waliweza kuathirika hawajasahau, wale ambao kwamba wenye kuhusika hawatasahau. Hii ni dunia tu kuweza kukumbuka ya kwa leo kuna wengine, kesho kuna na wengine watakaoweza kufanyika jambo hili, ikiwa hatutoweza kuhakikisha kwa wale wameweza kupotezwa tunajua wako wapi. Na kukupatia tu mfano ya kuwa hii ni jambo ambalo kwamba la kumbukwa katika dunia nzima, lakini hapa katika pwani peke yake katika mwaka huu ambao kwamba tuko Agosti tunaingia Septemba, tayari watu 11 katika pwani wamepotezwa bila kujulikana wapo wapi. Kwa muda wa miaka 5 zaidi ya watu 100 wameweza kupotezwa. Ni idadi kubwa sana ukilinganisha ya kwa tuko na katiba ile ambayo kwamba tuko nao na tuko na demokrasia ambayo kwamba tuko nayo. Na tunasema tu ya kwa ni lazima, na nimeweza kupeleka masala haya bungeni ya takriban ambao kwamba wameweza kupotezwa, kushirikiana na mashirika Haki Afrika, na ile kwamba nimewaomba Haki Afrika, and I think we're in agreement to renew hizi petition in parliament, na itakuwa ni bigger kwa sababu tunahitaji kuinvolve wajumbe wengi zaidi kuweza kupress the security departments kuweza kujibu hawa watu wako wapi. Na tunaomba pia vile vile, kwa sababu there are some issues that are very straightforward na ziko katika court, kama kesi ya Hamed, kesi ya Husni, tunaomba judiciary wa expedite, sababu ukianza justice delayed is justice denied. Ukianza kupeleka watu kwa muda wa miaka na jambo liko katika mahakama, sio sawa, sio haki at all. Na mimi tunawaambia kwa wale wenye kuhusika ya kwa lugha ya wale ambao kwamba ni wa siku hizi wanaita karma, kwa lugha yetu sisi tunaita dua za ule ambaye kwamba alodhulumiwa. Hakuna jambo ambalo kwamba ni baya sana kuliko dua ya yule ambaye kwamba alodhulumiwa. Leo uko katika hali ya mamlaka na unaweza kufanya vile unavyofanya, lakini historia imeweza kutuonesha ya kuwa yanarejea pale pale.
Shukrani sana mheshimiwa. Vile vile tukiweza kupata kiongozi wa Haki Afrika kuweza kujiunga nake, pengine una yapi kuweza kuongelea kuhusu masuala haya?
Naam, asante sana. Kwanza ni kama tulivyosema, hii si siku ya kusherehekea, bali ni siku ya kusikitika, kwa sababu yale mambo yanaendelea kufanyika ni mambo ambayo yanaumiza roho. Hii ni nchi ambayo iko na sheria, ni nchi ambayo iko na katiba, ili hali yale mambo yanayotendeka ni mambo ya kinyume na hii katiba. Kwa hivyo sisi tumekuja hapa kwa siku hii ya leo kuwakumbusha Wakenya kwamba kuna baadhi ya ndugu zetu ambao hadi hivi sasa wamepotezwa, hatujui mahali waliko. Familia zao hawajui ikiwa wako hai au wamekufa. Kama jamii tunasema matendo kama haya hayafai kuendelea kufanyika katika nchi yetu, na tunataka wakuu serikalini, hasa akiwa rais wa Kenya Bwana Uhuru Kenyatta na Bwana Fred Matiang'i, swala hili lazima waliangazie kikamilifu, kwa sababu yanayofanyika sasa yamefika kiwango ambacho hatuwezi tena kabisa kuignore. Kwa hivyo tunataka hatua zichukuliwe kabambe ili kutatua hii shida tulionayo.
Shukrani sana kwa muda wako. Naam, Sam, umeweza kusikia kutoka kwa viongozi wa shirika mbalimbali, pia vile vile kiongozi wa eneo hili bunge la Mvita ameweza kufika kusema kwamba ni kwa sasa basi serikali iweze kuingilia kati kuona kwamba watu hawa ambao walipotea wanaweza kuregeshwa ama kuweza kupatia tu matumaini kwa familia kujulikana kama iwapo wako hai ama wameshakufa, ili ndoposa familia basi ziweze kuweza kusahau mambo kama haya. Na tumeweza kuona kwamba familia nyingi zimeweza kujitokeza katika maeneo haya kuweza kuandamana kwa amani, kuweza kushinikiza masuala kama haya. Kutoka hapa na kuregesha kwako studio, Sam.
Critical questions there being raised by the people around Fred Kai this morning. It's basically two questions. One, extrajudicial killings. There is also the whole question of people from this country who go to work in other countries, but then they undergo, you know, torture and inhumane treatment. And once they make attempts to come back to their mother country, it is either a laborious task or it becomes very hard. And even at times, they never make it back home. So that is a very critical comment that we've had even from the MP Mvita. And of course, we shall be observing this particular issue closely to see exactly what happens, even as I bring in Shiksha Arora on this very question.
All right, of course. Now, Sam, today, by the way, we mark International Day of the Victims of Enforced Disappearances. Now, there will be an event later on happening at the National Museums of Kenya, 2 p.m. onwards. We're going to be having various international organizations that will be present. There'll also be the families of the victims who've disappeared. They will also be a part and parcel of this exhibition. Of course, the one thing that the main aim of this exhibition is to commemorate the people who have disappeared, and of course, nobody speaks about them.
That's true.
Right? So today, it is that day where Amnesty International, we've also got International Justice Mission, Kenya Human Rights Commission, as well as social justice centers around Nairobi that will be a part of this particular event. All right, moving on to the biggest tweets that have definitely been shaping up the conversation on Twitter for the past few hours, 24 hours rather. And there we go. That is the first one. That's to do with Boniface Mwangi's tweet. Now this one says, it's important to understand how presidential motorcades work. Before saying this, you might be vilifying something that is actually helping the president perform his duties effectively. Now, just to give you a bit of context regarding this tweet, there was a tweet by Boniface Mwangi, of course, and this tweet said that why exactly do we need motorcades of more than 10 cars here in Africa, especially in Kenya, when you can actually have a car that is, you know, all right, that happened. But yes, we'll definitely be bringing it back on our screens later on. But yes, the question that was asked on Twitter by Boniface Mwangi was, why exactly do we need motorcades of 10 cars? Here in Kenya especially, the president has his motorcade, which comprises of around 10 cars, while in Japan, we've got the president who roams with just 3 to 4 cars. Really, is this what is necessary here? And do you think that we have the resources to pay for those cars, Joroge, Samuel?
Well, I don't know whether we have the resources to pay for those cars, but I'm trying to dig out the tweet that is in reference to actually that very issue. I'm on Boniface Mwangi's Twitter page, and basically he was simply saying that the country is broke. And the president should actually declare this, quite literally, that the country is broke. But, you know, with all due respect, Boniface, we can't run government like a civil society. You know, we need checks and balances at the end of the day. And also remember, one issue really has nothing to do with the other. It's simply a question of managing what we have and addressing ourselves on the critical and pertinent matters of the day, as when it comes to government and management of the republic at the end of the day. So I believe that is where he was coming from, Shiksha, and rightfully, as that gentleman, his name is Kissinger, I believe, and he says that there should be a very legit reason as to why the convoy is what it is right about now. And one issue really has nothing to do with the other. One really has nothing to do with the other, Shiksha. So those are my humble submissions.
All right, of course, and there we go. That is the tweet that says, Kenya is broke, but President Uhuru Kenyatta is rolling big in a 25-car convoy. Japan PM moves around in 5 cars. The UK PM convoy has 3 to 4 cars, but Kenya, where people are dying of hunger, we go big. Plus, police must line up the entire route the president uses. And then, of course, that came in from Boniface Mwangi. Now, there was a couple of feedback that he got regarding that particular tweet, and people actually replied to him in support of the president. We had at Samuel Munene, who says, cars following a president is not a measure of wastage. The former British PM was here with a bigger convoy, but a lesser one at home, while in London, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta walks around. We've also got another one that says, well, we are creating employment, and that is in support of the convoy that we have here in Kenya. We've got one, Christian Lai, who says, I've seen him severally with a lighter convoy of roughly 7 cars. Sometimes CS and PS trail the convoy, which adds to this number. Anyway, we'll be talking about this. For now, we've got another tweet on another topic that has, filled Kenyans with pride. That's from DCI Kenya that says, congratulations to Team Kenya for emerging the overall winners in the AK-47 shooting competitions. Team Tanzania came second, followed by Team Uganda. 5 teams from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda and Burundi participated in the shooting competitions. And yes, Team Kenya drew, and that's exactly what we have been praising. This team that really emerged victorious and did us proud in this particular competition. So yes, congratulations to Team Kenya in the AK-47 shooting competition. And yes, another tweet that actually made a lot of conversation and sparked reactions from people on Twitter was by former Prime Minister, His Excellency Raila Odinga, who says, I visited the Galana Model Farm project in Tana River County, which seeks to use a different model to revive the Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme. Now, this particular tweet got a lot of people talking, and there was a lot that was said regarding why exactly he visited Galana Kulalu. But nope, just to clarify, he did not visit Galana Kulalu, but instead he visited a model in Tana River County known as Galana rather. And of course, he was not at this particular project that has been stalled for months. So yes, just to clarify that. So as you can see, it has got a lot of reaction on Twitter. So yes, that made it to the biggest tweet yesterday. And of course, we'll continue talking about what has been creating conversation, what has been talked about widely on Twitter for the past 24 hours. There we go. That's one Michael Mburu who says, shame on you, Eugene Wamalwa. China, population 1.3 billion. Arable land 10%. Annual rice production 210 million tons. On the other hand, Kenya, population 51 million. Arable land 10.2%. And annual rice production is 50,000 tons. The audacity you have to brag about rice donations. And this tweet by Eugene Wamalwa said, just received a donation of 30,000 bags of rice from the People's Republic of China to complement the government of Kenya relief food distribution in 23 drought affected counties. Now, of course, this is something that we've seen after the stalled project of Galana Kulalu. Now, this is what the question was being asked by Michael, who says, why are you bragging about donations when we have the resources here to actually make our own rice? Samuel?
Yes.
Do you think that it is right on Michael's part to actually raise this question and of course talk about this and say that it is a shame to brag about this donation by China, while on the other hand we have stalled projects like Galana Kulalu, of course, that has the capacity to produce rice worth tons, millions of tons?
He communicates a point,
okay.
Definitely. He communicates a point, but there is always the temptation of, talking about something, and the way you package it actually loses its meaning and ends up meaning something else. But yes, you do have a point, even when you compare our rice production right here in the country versus other nations across the world. And it will be important to see the kind of attention that the Ministry of Agriculture gives on this particular issue. And remember, besides ugali and wheat, rice is quite a staple food when it comes to the diet of Kenyans, and therefore it is important to look into some of the issues and factors that inform rice production in the country. How much are we able to produce? How much is consumed? What do we do with the surplus or the deficit? And what is the way forward? Those are the critical questions that need to be answered. Therefore, that's my take, Shiksha.
And of course, food security is a key concern in all parts of the country. There is really need to deal with extreme climatic conditions rather and fluctuations that is resulting in floods. Now this year, of course, we've seen a sign of global warming here in Kenya. Climatic change is something that we have observed. We were meant to have long rains, they didn't appear, but then after which we were also meant to have a season of short rains, again that, you know, was quite dispersed. So I think that's something that we also need to invest in, and how to deal with climate change.
But we're not the only country dealing with it. But at the end of the day, it's valid what you say, Shiksha,
right.
Honestly so. But I feel this conversation about unpredictable weather patterns and climate change and global warming is such a lackluster way of looking at things, because we have nations that are quite literally deserts and they feed their population. Yet, right here in Kenya, 50+ years after independence, we still report of drought, famine, hunger, malnutrition. That has nothing to do with climate change. It has everything to do with sloppiness of people who've been given a job and they choose not to do it in the right manner. So definitely that is a question that needs good approach, sober approach while at it.
All right, and of course, you know, I mean, you do have a point there, right? But at the same time, I feel like planning is something that we need to take into account. It needs to be done, and it needs to be done now to counter the effects of climate change. That is something that needs to be taken into consideration, especially when managing the funds. You know, we need to make sure we have enough food. In case of droughts, of course, in case of really long dry spells, and that's something that really needs to be done now.
National planning.
Yes, indeed.
Yet we've had 8 census in the country, 6 since independence, and the very first under the 2010 Constitution is currently ongoing. What becomes of the findings of these particular processes, and that is the National Population and Housing Census? We've had the planning over and over again. Does it inform proper decisions being made on the ground? Well, the receipts are out there. It's something totally out of the hands of Shiksha Arora and Samuel Njoroge to actually run by you. But it's good to note that at the end of the day, take the job you've been given seriously.
Now remember, our hashtag is K24 Daily Brief. Of course, that's where you're going to be finding us. If you would like to interact with us, well, do find us on @K24 TV social media platforms, including Twitter as well as Facebook. You can interact with us. The hashtag is K24 Daily Brief. Tell us what you want regarding the different questions that we've been asking. Of course, we've been talking about a couple of events. We've been talking about a couple of current affairs events as well as politics, and we need to hear from you just so that we can raise your concerns and of course get your answers that you've been asking for the questions that really are extremely crucial at this very point in time. Samuel.
Absolutely, Shiksha. Let's run images that we have as of now. This is all about what is happening in court today. We expect a crucial judgment. Now, you remember that judge in Kiambu who granted Governor Ferdinand Waitito an anticipatory bail, and it elicited quite a lot of reactions, and that issue consequently led him to losing her position as a judge. She was terminated for a while and she went to court, and as we speak right now, we expect a judgment in as far as this particular case is concerned. And those are the images that you're getting right there on your screen, and anytime from now, as soon as a judgment is ready and forthcoming from the courts this day, that is Milimani courts, we shall be crossing over there to listen into exactly what interpretation will be given in as far as this particular issue is concerned. So definitely a matter of interest to you and the nation, and we shall be keeping tabs with it and run any detail that we get in as far as this particular developing story is concerned. Time for a break, Shiksha.
Indeed, we'll be right back. Make sure you come back. Of course, we'll also keep tabs on what's happening in the courts. As Samuel has rightly said, there is a number of cases that we've got lined up for you just to give you live coverage of that. That will be coming up right after this break. Plus, we'll keep discussing with you your thoughts on social media. Keep them coming. Hashtag is K24 Daily Brief. Interact with us on @K24TV. We've just posted the video, by the way, of Rose Gakur. So yes, leave your comments there as well, and we'll share what you have to say in just a bit. Be right back.
For control.
It's just business.
Right.
No one gets anywhere without a little tension.
Some scheme.
You come out of nowhere and all of a sudden you're planning an exhibition for my husband. This is the only opportunity we have to get our company back.
Some lust.
Since you've been working so hard.
But all will fight for it.
What are you doing, stalking me now?
I'll never forgive.
Jane and Abel, Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
Mom mliniambilia pesa na mkaniambia ati nikileta serious boyfriend then naweza sainiwa off my inheritance. So fast, lazima utafute suti na utuize ndani na gari yako.
Chukua hiyo suti, va mpeleke kwa. Rudi hapa.
Sasa nataka uwe mchali yake.
Baby!
What do you do for a living?
Mimi ni wakili, professional lawyer.
Uone nini kinaendelea hapa?
Juu ya nini? Wewe ni msichana watu wanaolewa na daktari mkubwa. Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Unaweza jambia mzae wewe ni lawyer. Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Tulikuwa tumeongea story.
Kisikia umeenda kusema mimi ni doctor. Mimi sikuwa najua na do job gani.
After so many years, my Rishabh has let someone enter into his personal life.
A couple struggling with their marriage.
Get inside the car.
I won't get inside.
Do my pedicure. You'll also get my blessings in return.
Madhubala, the wife.
Madhubala is a very strong woman. She looked RK in his eyes and she challenged him.
In hard times, people realize the true value of time.
RK, the man of the house.
Remember one thing for life. You are not God.
Madhubala Omnibus, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. only on K24.
Karibu sana katika duka langu la tatua Box Bonanza. Mimi ni Chris the Base, na kama vipi siku ya leo tumebahatika kupata mshindi wa pili
kutoka eneo ya Kikuyu Deia Kamango. Last time nilishinda 60k plus bridge, pia nikashinda tena.
Leo tena amefika katika duka langu. Kama vipi tumpe nafasi ya ndugu yangu hapa James kuingiza mkono wake katika box langu la tatua Box Bonanza. You never know. Sawa sawa. Haya bwana, ndugu yangu wewe mwenyewe endesha kamera. Wewe ukiwa pale nyumbani hakikisha unacheza tatua tatu. Kumbuka ni rahisi kama 1 2
Tatua siku yako sahu. Every time you win 50,000 shillings or more, you will get a bonus prize in the Tatua Box Bonanza. Go to M-Pesa, select paybill number 150-150. Pick your 3 lucky numbers between 0 and 9, followed by win, and enter them as the account number. Bet from 10 shillings to 1,000 shillings and match 3 numbers to win up to 300,000 shillings in the next 30 minutes.
Over 18th only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the Betting Control and Licensing Board.
A local update as of now is that the Interior Ministry will carry out a mop-up exercise for unregistered persons for Huduma number. The Director of National Registration, Ruben Kimotho, says the 30-day exercise will kick off on Monday, September 2nd. The mop-up comes ahead of the next phase of Huduma number exercise, where county deputy registration officers, in consultation with their respective deputy county commissioners, are required to come up with programs covering all locations, schools and marketplaces during the period. Now, also an update on a certain story here. This is on the National Lands Commissioner's vetting, where activist Okia Omtata has moved to court seeking to stop Parliament from vetting Uhuru's nominees to the Land Commission. Omtata says the nominees were not selected in a lawful manner, claiming the selection panel was incompetently constituted. The application was filed before Justice Bayram Ongaya of the Employment and Labour Relations Court, who certified the matter as urgent to be heard on Monday, September 2nd. Now, the Betting Control and Licensing Board has cleared gaming firm Betway Kenya to restore its operations after also being given a nod by the Kenya Revenue Authority. In a statement, Betway claims it has worked relentlessly with the authorities towards compliance and fulfillment of requirements by the Betting Control and Licensing Board and other relevant government bodies to uphold full compliance with taxation laws. Betway will be deducting 20% withholding tax from winnings in accordance with the law. This will be clearly displayed on individual bet slips to ensure transparency, and the collected tax will be remitted directly to KRA. And that is the local update as of now. Handing you over now to Shiksha Arora, who is standing by to bring us up to speed with what you've been saying online.
All right, of course, taking you directly to our Twitter handle, that's at K24TV. Remember to hashtag K24 Daily Brief if you'd like to interact with us on the questions that we pose on our social media handles. Now, this is with regard to the video that we posted of Rose Gakor speaking to Kivutha Kibwana regarding not keeping time. And of course, the press release said that the meeting would start at 12:30, and it ended up starting after 2:30. So she was relaying her grievances and her disappointment with the way communication was passed on to journalists. Now, that's at Baba Lucky 14, who says, it's high time they know journalists have time to do something else, not to keep them there like they do. All right, we've got another one here from at JW Mbugush, who says, if they can't manage time, how can they manage billions of shillings? Wow. Quite a question there posed by Mbugush. Moving on, we've got one more. Of course, this one says, this will stall the economy. Governors should come out of their reptilian mindset and empower us at the county to generate more revenue. So that is with regard to the stalemate that's between National Assembly and Senate. Of course, this has not been resolved as of now. As soon as this happens, the county government will continue work. Well, for now, moving on exactly to more live events that we've been covering. Now we'll be taking you to our reporter Baraka Karama in Kisumu County, and he's going to be giving us more information regarding what he's got for us at his end from Kisumu County. Now, Baraka Karama, good morning, or should I say good mid-morning to you. What do you have for us from where you are?
Shiksha, we're just sampling views and opinions from a cross-section of residents in regards to the latest statement that was made by the chairman for the Council of Governors, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, yesterday, where he did mention that the counties will shut down their services come the September the 16th. This, of course, has been occasioned by the stalemate that has been experienced for the past 1 month in regards to the division of the revenue bill, where we've seen a tussle between the National Assembly and the Senate as far as that particular issue is concerned. Remember, Kisumu County is one of the counties that, of course, was affected by that particular issue. Remember, the Kisumu County Assembly just passed its budget estimate recently, and earlier interviews that we did, remember the Kisumu County Assembly Speaker George Onyangaleo did say that those counties that had already passed their budget estimates did it illegally, citing that, of course, because of the stalemate, there was no way the counties could pass the budget estimate. So we have seen quite a number of issues here in Kisumu County, and of course we've also seen various departments within this particular county having their services paralyzed. One of them is the health services. Remember, just 2 days ago, we had a press conference by the Kisumu County official of the nurses who said that they had called off the parade. But yesterday, they did issue another statement again saying that the county government of Kisumu did not live to its promise for paying the county government workers. Of course, we've seen these making it difficult for operations within various health facilities in Kisumu to be operational, going by the situation that, of course, we've witnessed in the recent past. Remember, Kisumu County Hospital and also other facilities, we saw the activities there were paralyzed because the workers there had down their tools. So going by the latest statement that was issued by the COG, of course, we expect that if at all that will happen, of course, it will cause more problems in this particular county. Just allow me to sample views and opinions from the residents of this particular county as far as that particular issue is concerned. Welcome. Of course, we'd like to know, as one of the residents of this particular county, yesterday the COG did issue a statement that come September the 16th, the operations of the counties will be paralyzed. What is your take about that as one of the residents of Kisumu?
All right, thank you very much. My name is Philip Oi. I'm a resident of Kisumu City.
Yes.
Now, about the stalemate, the revenue stalemate between the Senate and the Parliament, I think it is the failure of the senators, because they were given the mandate to discuss the county's issues, especially on the floor of the Senate.
Yes.
And therefore, we have not seen that. The Speaker of the Senate have not called a sitting or an urgent sitting on the stalemate.
Yes.
So, as far as I'm concerned, as a resident, services in the counties are paramount. And you cannot say that without that little money, I call it little, because if we calculate the money in question, it is around 10 billion.
Yes.
Now, you cannot shut the operations of the county just because the Council of Governors needs approximately 10 billion. The county residents are taxpayers. They want services each and every day, because they are taxpayers. They pay tax each and every time. So the issue of shutting down the operation is non-consequential. What I'm saying is that the senators should go back to their chamber and discuss this issue amicably with the National Assembly. And if they fail to do that, that means they have failed as leaders. Their leadership is a failure leadership. Yeah, because this is why they were given the mandate to discuss with the national government how the revenue should trickle in. So this is an issue that the residents or the Kenyan people cannot accept, that you shut down the operations of the county, because we need services as the taxpayers. And if you do that, it means you are the one fighting devolution.
So do you think it was a wrong move by the COG to call for the shutdown of the services all over the country?
Our Council of Governors chairman knows very well that the residents need services. So it was not proper for him to say. I can say that is a mere threat, because the country will have to move on. So let them take the little that is available and then go back to the chamber of the Senate and discuss the issue so that the country can move forward. Yes.
Thank you. We are just trying to sample views and opinions from a cross-section of residents, like you had from that gentleman. Of course, he's blaming the COG for not doing the right thing, of actually saying that the stalemate between the National Assembly and the Senate should not be the reason for the counties to shut down their services. So we'll be taking more views and reactions. We are supposed to be linking with the county speaker for the Kisumu County Assembly, George Onyango, maybe just to give us a brief on what he thinks about this particular issue. We also had we also expect a press conference by the Kisumu County Governor, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, in regards to this particular issue. And of course, we'll be able to give you more information as far as this particular issue is concerned. But right now, those were just some views, actually one view from from one of the residents here in Kisumu in regards to the stalemate between the National Assembly and the Senate in regards to this particular issue, the sharing of the revenue. Back to you, Shiksha.
All right, thank you very much, Baraka Karama, for that update from Kisumu. Of course, well, he's definitely given us an update regarding what the residents are saying with the allocation of the 10 billion to Kisumu County. So we'll definitely be, you know, exploring that matter later on in our subsequent bulletins in details. But for now, we've definitely got some international news for you that we have been keeping tabs on with my colleague, Samuel Njoroge. And of course, we'll be getting right into it with the first story, where cannabis cafes in the Netherlands are to be supplied legally with drugs from regulated producers as part of a trial aimed at tackling the black market. Now, under Dutch law, cannabis can be sold over the counter in licensed coffee shops, but it is currently illegal to produce and supply the drug. The country's loose policy on cannabis has seen criminal enterprises flourish. From 2021, cafes in 10 cities will get a legal supply of quality cannabis as part of a 4-year experiment, and cultivating cannabis is a contentious issue in the Netherlands, a country famous for its liberal drug laws. Cafe owners who provide over-the-counter cannabis have long relied on the illegal market for their supply, and industry insiders have accused the government of facilitating a nonsensical backdoor culture.
Elsewhere in Uganda is that Uganda's health ministry has confirmed a new Ebola case in the western town of Kasese. A girl of 9 who had traveled from the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo was found to have a fever during screening for Ebola at the Mpondwe border crossing. A blood sample that was sent for testing confirmed on Thursday evening that she had Ebola. Initial symptoms can include a sudden fever, intense weakness, muscle pain, and a sore throat. Subsequent stages can bring vomiting, diarrhea, and in some cases both internal and external bleeding. Now, the girl has been isolated and transferred to an Ebola treatment unit.
All right, and lastly, bringing you the latest in the world of sports, where England's Lucy Bronze has been named the UEFA Women's Player of the Year, while Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk took the men's award. Fullback Bronze beat Lyon teammates Ada Hegerberg and Amandine Henry to the award. She's the first English winner of the honour, voted for by the top coaches in the women's game and journalists. And defender Van Dijk helped Liverpool beat Tottenham 2-0 in the Champions League final in Madrid in June. Van Dijk, 28 years old, edged out Barcelona's Lionel Messi and Juventus' Cristiano Ronaldo for the prestigious prize. He is the first defender to win the award since the inaugural edition in 2010-2011, with Messi and Ronaldo claiming 5 of the previous 8 awards between them. And that's how, of course, we'll wrap up this edition of K24 Daily Brief. Thank you for tuning in right here as we brought to you the live events as well as current affairs, plus what you are saying on our social media as well. Keep interaction with us. We'll do the same tomorrow, same time, same place. Samuel?
My name is Samuel Njoroge. Have a good afternoon.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.